Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our wonderful Lammas Symposium. It's wonderful to have you here and to welcome you back. And today I am talking to Anna-Saqqara Price and Louisa Shawnee, who are the tutors for the Wild Soul Shamanka course here in Glastonbury. So I'm Lisa Fletcher and I manage all the temple teachings. And I'm going to ask Anna-Saqqara and Louisa to introduce themselves to you next. So Anna-Saqqara, to you first.
Hi, my name is Anna-Saqqara. I'm a priestess of Avalon, priestess of Rhiannon, goddess temple mother, work as a healer in the goddess house. And Louisa and I have sort of created this beautiful wild soul shamanka course together. And it's really exciting.
Thank you. And Louisa.
Hi, yeah, I'm Louisa Shawnee. I'm a shamanic practitioner, intuitive healer, teacher, artist, creator, uh, bit of a hypnotherapist, and a few other things. So
Thank
nice.
you. Both you both do a lot. Thank you very much. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your Wild Soul Shamanka course?
Yeah, so the Wild Soul Shamanka course has come out of the various different work and trainings that I've done. So I didn't mention I'm also a equine assisted facilitator with soul support systems, and I've done Sally's Deep Soul training course, and I've worked with Floravia Magdalena on her soul recognitions work. And so this work is like a sort of a combination of that with Louisa's sort of core shamanic training. And it's sort of weaving in that essence of our own center, our own wild soul, our own sort of shamanka within, and guiding people through the lens of the Avalonian mysteries and the goddesses that sort of are very potent here in Glastonbury and Avalon, but also working with a more raw, rootsy, shamanic, earthy, elemental aspect. So we spend each weekend diving deep into each of the elements and really exploring how the spirits of the land, the beings, the oversouls, the devas, all those sort of amazingly deep, present, sort of archetypal aspects, and more. I mean, so the sort of shamanic spirits are more than archetypal. They're living essence in the same way that Goddess and Lady of Avalon is the living essence. So it's really helping people to dive into that and to explore and to help release the blocks in themselves that's stopping them from being open to this real sort of raw magical flow of the elements. And yeah, it's a beautiful deep dive, and the first year our students have just really loved it, and they've really loved the pacing, they've really loved the depth of it, deep personal reflective work, and the amazing shamanic tools that Louisa brings in. And they've really enjoyed making them as well. So I'm going to let Louisa talk about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a large part of the shamanic practice is utilizing sort of certain tools, if you like. There's some basic implements that go towards protection, empowerment. They can sort of hold a space themselves as you begin to use them a little bit more. So we try to make sure in the first year that you have gathered, created, built a relationship with a basic set of materials, of tools that will stand you in stead for the rest of your work. So you will come away with your medicine bag, the most essential piece of equipment. We look at having a fringe for doing the more sort of journey work, the going into the liminal space, the visionary work. but it also acts as a shield. A lot of it acts as a shield, if you like, when you're working in the more shadow aspects of the spirit world, which is one of the things that one does when one's working shamanically. We also have our power belt. This is another way of carrying our own medicine, our own power, our own connection. Some have chosen to have a staff rather than a mask. We're also weaving that with some of the more ceremonial goddess style work, so that you have your cloak, your cape. So it's quite mixed and varied, but with a base core in the sort of skill tools that we would use. So we have our rattle as well, working those with the elements. We weave that into work we do with the land, weaving it in with the goddess wheel as well as the wheel of the year. Yeah, and I think Anna touched a little bit on this deep dive, and I think that's a lot of the shamanic work as well, that you may hear this term hollow boning, and I think that's a very important aspect of doing the work, is that we have to do the work on ourselves in order to be able to go out there and assist, whether we're assisting other human beings or whether we're assisting the land or the animals or spirit. And to do that, we have to know ourselves well. So in any of these courses and these pieces of work that we do, there's always an element of you're going to visit yourself in a way that maybe you haven't yet. And it deepens your own relationship and connection with yourself. And that's where this sort of the soul work comes in as well, is that you're getting a real deep connection with who you authentically are and how to express that in a more meaningful way.
Yeah,
I think that sort of explains.
and that's really important, isn't it? And such a deep journey, and an important journey to take for all of us. Yeah, thank you. That was really interesting.
And we have a lot of holding because we do go deep. We've really developed a core crucible to hold the students, and we have a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group. We meet in between sessions via Zoom. We have sort of Zoom check-in group every sort of three weeks in between our 6 weekly circles. And we really develop the connections and encourage the students to reach out to each other and practice on each other. So it really does develop a very beautiful, strong community within what we're developing. And then the students also have access to the Goddess Temple community. The first year students will be able to join our Orchard weekend in February. And also there's sort of more ongoing work. So the first year we're working with the elemental aspects. So on our Wheel of the Weir, you could call that the directional quarters of north, south, east and west and centre. And then on the second year, we're going to be exploring the more sort of archetypal sort of medicine aspects, looking at sort of maiden, mother, lover, crone, but also going deeper into the more medicine work. And for that, we'll be working with horses. And so that really helps people to empower their way shower. So the way shower is about finding their own leader within. And it's a more leaderful way. It's not about power over or dominance. It's about finding your leader and being confident with your own wisdom. And so the first year is like connecting to that wisdom, learning to shape shift with the elements, learning to listen to your guides, to listen to your soul, to open up to that inner wisdom within. And then the second year is how do you take that core strength and that confidence that you have learnt, and then how do you weave it into more sort of shamanic style ceremonies, circle holding, leading groups. But also it's more about finding the skills of each individual student and enabling them to feel empowered in taking their skills out into the world rather than following a set pattern or a set program. So we're really trying to develop that skill development from a real core essential essence within each individual student.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? That kind of enabling each student to be who they are, and for you to sort of be flexible and to be working with that as they emerge is a wonderful way to work, and really empowering and deep. Thank you. And so the course is 3 years, and the first year will restart again. Can you say a little bit about the new first year that will be starting?
Yeah, so we'll be starting this year in September, I believe. I can't remember the dates off the top of my head, but the first weekend is a 3-day weekend, and we take people out into the landscape and the wider landscape of Avalon. So we go up onto the Mendips, we go and explore the sites of the ancestors, we explore Glastonbury Tour, and so we work with the land a lot, and it's really drawing upon that connection to the ancestors. Some call it the Proto-Celtic or Brythonic. It's the idea of the ancient ones, the seers, the sages, the wise women, the people who trod this land before us, and being able to listen to that wisdom and take on the wisdom of the beings of the land and the spirits, as well as the archetypal goddess aspects that always come in, like Morgan Le Fay and the Lady of Avalon and Dear Mother, because I'm so ingrained in that work. But it wasn't intentional to bring them in, but they were just showed up for a lot of the students, and because we do drum work, it's not directed. So it really comes from that inner space where the students' own mythic language and their own mythic world comes alive. And it's sort of what you could call visionary shamanism, because it's coming from the soul, it's coming from the essence of that connection within, and also how the landscape is speaking to the students.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both for that really vibrant sort of explanation and an introduction to your course. It does sound amazing. And can you say a little bit about what students have really enjoyed this year for everyone that's listening who might be thinking of joining you?
Do you want to answer that, Louisa?
Yeah, I think there's been the creative aspect. Obviously, that's more my bent, so I can speak more of that. And certainly, I know there's one particular student who, right at the very beginning, was, "I don't sew, I don't make things," and she
That would
had
be
a
me.
well, she almost had a reconnection with her own mother.
Yeah,
In there was this link that she didn't think she had, and in the act of allowing herself to embrace the teaching and to go on and push past that resistance, she discovered the maker within her. And honestly, the tools that she has made, they are exquisite, they are beautiful,
yeah.
and she has found an aspect of herself that she didn't realize she had. So there's that kind of experience that
Mm.
the students can have, is that, where, they've gone down a road of thinking that they're one sort of person, when actually there's so much more to them than they realized. And if they're willing to allow those blocks and resistances to just be challenged a little,
Yeah,
then they are able to step out of an old way of seeing themselves and embracing aspects of themselves that they didn't realize they had. And then I think a lot of it is that the feedback has been about the depth
yeah.
and how empowering and magical that can be.
Mm.
Finding a level of community and connection as well. So people come from all sort of all sort of different walks of life, but actually levels as well, if you like. So
Yeah.
some of our practitioners have done a fair bit of shamanic work in other ways, or they've done more goddess work, or they've done maybe slightly more psychotherapeutic work. So they've got these different angles that they've brought
Mm.
in. But no matter what level they're coming in at, there's always something for them to grow into.
Yeah.
Another way of looking at the information they've already carried with them. So it's been very expansive, I think. And I can say the same for myself as well. You know, Anna and I are, whilst we're holding the container, we're also in that container with you. There's
Of
no way you
course.
can not be. You know,
Yeah.
our skill is the fact that we can hold and be present, but
Yes.
we are also in that work with you. And I have personally found myself that it has been incredibly expansive.
Mm.
And there's been some work for me that it's touched on, and doors it's opened that I otherwise wouldn't have, you know.
Yeah.
And it's what it brings up, what it presents. It's very fluid work. So whilst we have a very good structure that we put it
Mm.
into, there has to be a lot of that freedom for it to go in the way that whatever the land has brought up, whatever the ancestors bring up, but what everybody in the room brings.
Yeah.
So it has to have that level of flexibility, which is another way. I'm not, that's the way I love working. So I'm not sure I could work any other way. So I think that's something else that they get out of it. So I'm going to hand over to Anna. What else have
Mhm.
you got from students?
I mean, one of the interesting things is seeing how much they've changed. So there's been students stuck in certain job patterns or certain thought form patterns or beliefs about themselves. And through the course and through the structure of the gentle holding and yet going deeper and deeper and deeper, they've been able to make the changes that their soul needed for them to be able to develop. And because it is all focused at a soul level, it's really not about pushing or shoving or forcing or making anything happen to anyone. It's about developing the soul and developing that soul strength and connection so that the growth is easeful, it's graceful. Sometimes it might be a little bit dramatic, but that's really generally only the ceremonies where we encourage people to really let loose. And we've had some really potent fire ceremonies here on the side of the tour where I live, and really such a beautiful little fire ceremony. And today I've just been setting up for the dedication ceremony on some another new piece of land that's come forward for us to use, and that's going to be a really beautiful potent bit of land to work on as well. So it really feels like the goddess is bringing forward all of these places and enabling the connection that will really assist people in their growth as well.
Thank you. It sounds such a rich, experiential course to be involved in, and it sounds like everybody has got such a lot out of it. And yeah, and so I would encourage anyone that's interested to reach out to the Goddess Temple or to Anna and Louisa to find out a little bit more about the journey that they might undertake with you. And just before we finish, do you have um, do you have something, a message for those that maybe have never done any shamanic work before, but who might be considering joining you after hearing how deep and wonderful and beautiful your journey is?
I'd say just listen to your heart, listen to your soul. If you feel that pug, that sort of push drawing you to come to Glastonbury, to dive deeper into Avalon, to be able to find out and step into your own personal presence and power, and be able to express yourself and your truth and listen to your guides, then this is the course for you.
Wonderful, thank you. Louisa, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think I would just say you don't need to have any prerequisite knowledge or understanding of anything. As Anna says, if you feel that pull, if it's calling you, if you're watching this, the likelihood is you've stepped on it for a reason. So listen to that, follow that pull, and just be open and see what doors it opens for you. Everything you need to know, we will share with you and teach you. So you don't have to come with any pre-knowledge. But yeah, if it's calling you, then answer the call.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. Thank you, Anna-Saqqara and Louisa, for sharing your wisdom and your passion and your joy and excitement and enthusiasm for your course. And I will see everybody back for the next instalment of our Lammas Symposium. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.